Real quick, we always do this with our season previews. I want to take a quick look here at
Yeah.
schedule real quick. You look at Houston's schedule currently, what they could possibly do here. It's a first place schedule, but it doesn't look to be too challenging. 18th hardest in the NFL based off 2024 opponent win percentage, 4 primetime games in there, and an early week 6 bye that you should keep an eye on. Overall, when you look at the schedule, Aaron, what stands out to you?
Well, there's some easier stretches when you look at the schedule. They're going to be tested when they play teams like Baltimore, who they have been competitive against. When they play Buffalo, they beat actually last year. And then when you look at the Chiefs game, that's been the main thing they haven't been able to get past as far as the
No one
playoffs
has.
last
No
year.
one has.
Yeah,
Houston's
nobody
not
beats
alone
the
there.
Chiefs. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I see 10-7 projection. I have them at 11 wins, but some of the defining parts of the schedule, you have some West Coast travel, 2 trips to Los Angeles, one against the Chargers, who they beat in the playoffs, one to start the season against the Rams. They have a Seattle Monday night game. I think
Seattle on the
Seattle.
road, primetime. That's a tough game.
Yeah, it's a hard game. It's an underrated part of the schedule is Week 9 against Denver. Denver's really good.
Absolutely.
I think that's a problem. So.
And if the Texans do happen to be in a wild card situation, or even if Denver is in a division winning situation, that can have like tiebreaker implication in there as well.
100%. Yeah, I think that's going to be uh, a game that's important in the schedule and determining them and the playoffs, all that stuff.
And I think that just kind of about the schedule as well. I think if you're this Houston team, I think that the NFC South or AFC South, excuse me, should be a division that they cruise by. They should very easily find a way to win that division. So I think that if you go 4-2 or 5-1 in your division, all you have to do is find a way to muster 5 more wins in your other 11 games, and you get into the postseason. Now, obviously, that's not ideal if that's your performance out of division when you're going to go into the playoffs and not play any of your division foes. But
Right.
if you it's not, I think, as hard for the Texans to see that blueprint to at least again win the AFC South and get into the postseason, and then hope, as I have, you win your final 3 games and hopefully get hot, and then see if something can, some fire could be rekindled in Stroud and crew in the playoffs. But I think that has to be kind of your philosophy: is go 4-2 or 5-1 in your division and find 5 or 6 wins elsewhere, because that shouldn't be that difficult. That's about a 500 record the rest of the way.
100%. Yeah, well said, Chase. And, you look at the South, I always say things like this. I call them the kings of the AFC South. They just keep winning the South Division. I expect them to do that again. I think 5-1 or 6-0 is possible. It won't be as easy. I think Jacksonville's going to improve a little bit with Liam Cohen and what he'll do with Travis Hunter, Brian Thomas Jr., Trevor Lawrence. But I still think they're better than those teams. So, yeah, part of my projection is based on a high winning percentage within the South. And then we'll see. I mean, they're 0-6 all time in the obviously you don't just advance to the divisional round, you have to earn it. But that's my projection, is that they get back to that point. Whether they're going to win in the second round, their only team in the AFC that's never been in the AFC title game. And that's kind of been a defining thing for the franchise, that they're not successful in the postseason. And that's how you're judged, obviously, is postseason success. They are beyond tired of losing the divisional round. And they've done it each of the past 2 years under D'Amico Ryans, who's done a great job here. D'Amico's leadership has been instrumental in the turnaround. And Nick Caserio, for the most part, having a lot of success with the personnel aspect of this. But, yeah, they've got to be better in the clutch. And that's when I start looking at coaching and CJ's performance and, the blocking and all those things. So, yeah, it's got to get better, Chase. It really does.